Hi everyone. Well, I'm just going to run through the story today of my girls, Holly and Emily, and their story, because I know a few of you have requested it, and I really don't mind sharing it with you. My two beautiful little girls, not so little anymore. So I'm going to tell you. Basically, when I fell pregnant with the girls, I was 20. I was at university in Northampton and was studying, or not studying, English media and popular culture. Didn't do a lot of work, came back pregnant with twins. Their dad and I split up 2 weeks before I found out I was pregnant, and he wasn't very enthusiastic about it, so to speak. So I came home to my family, and I found it a really difficult time because my mum wasn't very enthusiastic about it either, because I wasn't really looking after myself, let alone able to look after twins. I was extremely hormonal and emotional, like everything was doubled, and at the point where I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown, and I'd moved back to my mum's, and I didn't know it was twins until I went for the scan. But once I had the scan, I realised that that's why I've been feeling as bad as what I was feeling. I then went and lived with my nana because my mum kind of wasn't happy with me at all for continuing with the pregnancy. So, and I don't mean that horribly, in case she watches it, because I can understand where she's coming from now. Yeah, I went and lived with my nana, and I stayed there till I was about 7 months pregnant, and then moved back home again. Me and my mum kind of got this bond thing going on. I feel really emotional just talking about it, actually. Yeah, it was a tough time. I was on my own. I'm sorry, I don't know where this has come from. I was on my own, desperately wanted their dad to be bothered about them, but he wasn't. In fact, that was probably the loneliest time of my life, when I was pregnant with the girls. And it was just not nice. I had these two amazing little things growing in my belly, and I could feel them on each side, which one of them had a particular side, the other one was on the other side, and I could differentiate between the movements and stuff, and I'd already named them. My dad and my stepmum were brilliant. They looked after me, as did my nana, and obviously I went back to like I said, I went back to my mum's at 7 months for the final leg of my pregnancy. So it was quite, I was quite up and down. I had no real home or anything. So when I moved back home, I was having regular scans, and I got to 32 weeks, and I didn't want to stay in there anymore. On New Year's Day 2003, I woke up in the morning and I'd gone to the toilet and I'd been bleeding, so everyone was like, hospital now, and I was there, and they were going to let me go from the hospital but the next day, but I woke up at 3 o'clock that morning went to the toilet, got in bed, and my waters broke, so they had to keep me in then. It was a really long labour. It wasn't plain sailing. It was really tough because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I never had the internet to be able to go on and Google the things that I did with Frankie and Bobby and find. I never knew as much as what I know now, but that goes with age and experience, I guess. And where are you going?
I don't know.
Are you going?
Yeah.
You want to see Daddy?
Yeah.
Alright. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah, I was on and off the birthing ball quite a lot, because that was the only place I was comfortable. And when labour did finally kick in, it was on a Thursday night. I'd been watching EastEnders. It was snowing outside, and they put me in the labour room then, and I had my first epidural. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't know how to cope with it, as you know, a lot of people they don't know when it's the first, and the then it continued. It just went on and on. I couldn't see an end. The next morning, I actually had them at 11:05 and 11:10. Holly was first, 11:05, and Emily was 11:10. And Holly weighed £3.14 and Emily weighed £3.11. When they were born, it was quite traumatic. So traumatic that my mum suffered with, what do you call it, post-traumatic stress from it, because she thought that she'd lost me and Emily. Holly came out no problems, but Emily, I don't know, she had a cord prolapse and it was squashing her and it was cutting off her oxygen supply, so they had to rush me into theatre, like one hand there inside of me keeping the placenta from, or whatever it is, the cord or whatever, from doing what it was doing. And they took me into theatre, and from that moment my whole life flashed before my eyes. She was born and they were saying that you've got a beautiful daughter, but I could see her, but I thought that she wasn't breathing and she had to have a ventouse to suck her out. I thought that she died. 1 second. Right, sort myself out. They looked after her and got her breathing again, and she was in a bit of a bad way. They warned me that she might be brain damaged and have learning difficulties and stuff, which she hasn't. They're both amazingly bright and beautiful girls. And then after they'd sorted Emily out, I started to hemorrhage all over, and I don't know what happened, I just went, and then I don't know whether I blacked out or I went unconscious or what, but I remember waking up about, I don't know, 10-12 hours later in the night, and the first thing when I woke up was, where are my babies, you know? I was there on my own and I just wanted my babies, and somebody had took photos of them and put them next to my bed so that I could see them when I woke up. And obviously they wasn't going to let me walk to special care to see them, because I just had an epidural, God knows, topped up God knows how many times. So I put myself in a wheelchair and got someone to take me down there. The first time I saw them, laid in their incubators, I didn't think they was identical twins because they looked nothing alike. Holly wasn't in as bad a way as Emily was. Emily was all wired up and on tubes, and they both had to be fed via a syringe and a tube down the nose and back into the throat and stuff. They weren't in there very long, but every time the sats on the machine started beeping, I would just panic, and it just scared the shit out of me, basically. There was not, like I said, they weren't in there very long, and I was lucky enough to be able to stay in a flat that was on the special care baby unit, so that I could express my milk and go feed them all the time. And I used to have them in my little zip-up jacket, doing the kangaroo care. They had a lot of trouble latching on to my breast. I couldn't actually breastfeed them, and by the time they'd been discharged, which was about 3 weeks later, they still wouldn't do it. I did try, but it was really tricky. And they thrived from there on. They thrived. You know, to look at them now, you would never tell that they were premature. They're so clever and funny and gorgeous. They're my little girls, and they will be forever, even when they're grown up. So, there's Frankie. There's my story of my twins. I'm sorry that I got so emotional. Bye.